I'm driving to the Meadows right now from Oliver's game. They won their first game of the tournament today, so he'll be pumped. He went 5 for 5, which is always good. I want to talk to you about the racehorse. I'm going through most of the videos today. I'm going to ask Amy if she's going to be back from Ontario before the afternoon tomorrow so she can do the opening with me. But for now, we're going to talk about the age horses. Admiral Dio, I thought he was second the other day. Race good, finished third again. You know, he strikes me, he's weird. I tell you guys, the underachievers, they don't usually make it on my radar. You know, if you're not putting out consistently, you don't have to be good all the time. You know, the horses get tired, they just get in a funk, whatever. But if you're consistently underachieving, you're probably not going to get too many favorable reviews from me. But when it comes to this horse, I believe he is an underachiever, but he's consistently an underachiever. He puts out like 90%, maybe 88, but every time. And you know, I guess I'll allow it because I know what he will do. I know what I think he's capable of, but I also know what I think he will do, what his output will look like. So I should be able to plan for that moving forward. I thought he raced pretty good the other day. He should have probably been second, I would imagine, but raced pretty good. Drebin, he'll start back. He's been swimming now for a bit. There's no real rush. We plan to have him ready in the early part of the fall. I'm not going to talk about the mares this week. Mounts for All is in to go here Wednesday. We're going to move him back up to Northfield for start or two anyway. We can bounce around a little bit, Scioto and Northfield, but this week he'll make his return to Northfield Park where he did good this year. Tenacious Hanover makes his return. He is racing today at the Meadows. Now, I had a couple people message me say, Anthony, 3 Point Blue Chip had a little bit of a temperature, and we gave the day off. We were moved from racing today, and then Tenacious Hanover later on. I just couldn't be there in time. I wanted to watch as much of Oliver's game as I could, and race 10 to race 12, honestly, quite frankly, was the difference of 1 or 2 innings. So I did want to go for Spitfire Overseas. I wanted to make sure that I made it there for him, and since Patrick was the race before, I guess I'd go for him also. So I'm going to be coming in a little hot. I got to watch exactly as much as I could of Oliver's baseball game, but Tenacious Hanover did not make it onto my dance card today. Short field. I'm sure Brady Brown will sneak in and grab a bone with him and get us some money. And then we'll see what the rest of his summer looks like. Time is on my side races tomorrow. I think they race for $250,000 tomorrow, but it may as well be $250 billion. He's got the 8-hole on a half-mile track and with some salty competitors. It is going to be an uphill climb just to get a check in there. But we'll see how that plays out. Vehement. I saw him also eligible. I think I saw him in to go also, didn't I? I think he's in somewhere. He's definitely a lot of also eligibles if he's not. As usual, I don't think I've ever in my entire life not raced a horse as much as Vehement. I don't think I've ever been an also eligible as many times as I've been with Vehement in my entire life on planet Earth. So we'll try and keep him as consistent as we can. Save America, I knew what happened last week. You know, if you guys caught our video with the yearlings, I was joking with Justin about getting parked and whatnot. He had tied up 3 days before. Now, we didn't check because there was no indications he did tie up. A lot of times, the horses aren't stiff coming out of the bath rack. You know, you walk them out of their stall, you put them away, they seem fine. The next day, that initial CK comes down a little bit. The horses may jog just fine. A horse like Save America, we jog him very slow anyway. He's pretty easy on himself. Nobody noticed that the horse actually tied up a little bit. So I guess the only way to combat that would be to draw blood on all the horses the day before and all the horses the day after, and that just is silly. So we have to rely on our own horsemanship and eyes sometimes, and even sometimes that isn't enough. I mean, Lauren's a tremendously good horseman. She takes care of him. Jason is a very, very good horse person also. Takes care of, he jogs him every day. Chuck, when Jason isn't jogging him, I believe Chuck does. Another good horse person, keeps an eye on the horses. So, I mean, there is 2, if not 3 sets of eyeballs that didn't see anything wrong with Save America. But I can tell you, I knew shortly after leaving the gate that something was amiss, and definitely all the way to the quarter pole, something was amiss. and it didn't take us too long to figure out what was going on. His AST was 4,000, the CK was only 800. There is only one way for that to happen. He had tied up 2 or 3 days before the race, likely when we trained him. So, Drew, the outside this week, that AST won't be perfect, but it'll be down to acceptable levels. Needless to say, I won't be leaving with him this week. I'm probably going to get away 6th or 7th with him and stay pretty close to home. See if we can't have him sharp and racing on the end of it and get this guy back into normal, typical Save America form. Spitfire Overseas, if he does well as he's programmed to do today, he's picked to win. If he does win the race, he'll be up into the open level now, and that will cause a bit of a scheduling issue for him and Looks Like Money. We'll see how we're going to combat that in the coming weeks. Listen, we have Looks Like Money, Yo Mister, and Spitfire Overseas. 3, for the most part, open trotters in this level around Ohio and Pennsylvania. We have Northfield, Scioto, and the Meadows. Surely we can find a place to race all the horses. Now, as I say that, I am not confident Spitfire would get around Northfield well. Jason said he would when he was here the first time. Okay. He was right last time. He said Looks Like Money would get around a half. I didn't think he would, and he won. So, there's 2. I know Stacy believes that Yo Mister will, but I don't. I know he won at the Greenville Fair, which was a tight half, but I can't imagine he's going to do his best racing at Northfield Park. So, as it stands right now, we'll have, if we're lucky, God willing, we'll have 3 open trotters and 3 racetracks to use them in. Texon Soprano has been racing good. A little flatter the other day. Megan said he had a little abscess. Where'd she say it was? I don't know where it was. A little abscess that popped out. His white count was a little up, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And she attested that to read the reason he was a little bit flat. I can't imagine she's not 100% correct on that. Greatest ending. Raced great the other day. One might argue that was the best mile he's ever gone for us. And he's back in this week, 9-2. It's a tough division. It's just below the open, but I think he'll do well. JK Victory, just can't get him consistently going. Here's a horse that when we sent him to Indiana the first time was ultra consistent. Just haven't really been able to consistently get him rolling in now in Ontario. I know at the Meadows it was hard because the classes weren't always filling. Short fields are not really for him, but you go from like the middle condition way up to the open because a couple got combined. It's not ideal, is it? And then of course draws the 9-hole, I think tonight in the final of that pop-up series, and he's like 15-1 morning line. So Phil Houdon's driving him. All the best, all the luck to all my partners and Phil and the horse, but another uphill climb, just bad draws all weekend north of the border and a little bit south of the border too. Looks Like Money was great the other night, finished 4th, raced really well though. I think if I come first up, he's 3rd. They went 51. He trotted 52 and 2, 27 and 4 at the end of it. He's done some of his best work since he got injured 2 years ago. Very, very consistent trotter this year, and he'll race at Meadows, Northfield, Scioto. All 3 of those, or any of the above will do for him in particular. Neptune got in Wednesday. He's luckier. He would have been castrated today. I was not impressed with him last week. His blood did come back with some abnormalities in it. Nothing too concerning, nothing long-term stuff we should be able to treat. But he is in to go on Wednesday. Putting him on the front won't be an option this week, not after the way he raced last week. Ran for racing from mid-pack. He likes parked apparently, so I'm good at that too. Shouldn't be too hard to find him a trip. So that was Neptune. Rock Shining Star is in today at Scioto Downs. Good luck to all my partners with Rock Shining Star. 3-point blue chip, just in a little elevated temperature today. We scratched him, wasn't a big deal, but certainly couldn't race him like that. Trosa is in tonight, coming off a week off and a couple of poor outings that he showed some mucus and a little bit of blood. So we're trying to get him cleaned up in that regard. Race tonight, we'll see how he races. Yo Mister was great the other night. I fell asleep waiting for him to race. They delayed the races an hour and a half for a big thunderstorm that blew through there. I just thought they'd cancel. Good for them for not canceling, and good for the horse people, the trainers, the drivers for staying there. I say that as somebody who won the 15th race. But you know what? It's a long, old, boring night when you guys sit there and wait. Imagine the horses half warmed up. Some of them got Lasix. Now, mister, his Lasix would have been at 5.5, maybe 6 hours by the time he got to race. And if I'm not mistaken, they say it works its best around 3.5, 4. So you can only imagine how effective that Lasix was, actually, medically speaking, on him. The horse went out and raced great. Delicious Stone DK is going to qualify next Friday. He didn't qualify yesterday. Dom asked him, the quarter cracks pinched him a little bit. I said, well, it's not going to heal up if we qualify him today. So why don't you just give the horse a week, change his shoes, work on that quarter crack, get him squared away, and get him into qualify. So that's the plan for next Friday for him. And Patrick DePerona, I think I'm going to make it on time. It's going to be close. I got to see Ollie get a triple. Went 5 for 5. It was worth it. It was worth it. I will trade watching him hit a triple over getting there on time to drive Patrick. I will roll the dice that I will get there on time to drive Patrick. But I think I'm on the right side of the fence when it comes to this one. Anyway, those are your racehorses. We'll come back with your 3-year-olds. I'm going to give you, I promised you it the other day and I didn't realize it was Friday. That's how long and busy my week has been. I thought that Friday was Wednesday. How bad is that? I said, we usually give you these videos on Wednesday. I'm going to give you a very in-depth video on all the 2-year-olds. And I finished the video and I'm like, it's Friday. So today, I'm going to give you a complete rundown of all the 2-year-olds, what I think of them, where I think they are, their strengths, their weaknesses, what we're going to be doing with them. The video home, it's going to be a long one. We're going to talk about all the 2-year-olds, but I'll be back in just a second with the 3-year-olds.